What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, joined by my co-host, Eric Wilson, and the NHL draft is just days away. Can't wait to see what unfolds. Will the Rangers trade their first-round pick, or will they stick and pick? Today, we're going to be going over a mock draft scenario where they do stick and pick, and it lands them their center for the future. Actually, two mock draft scenarios, both of them landing different centers that could set them up perfectly for the future. We want to go ahead and discuss why center might be the position to target and kind of dive into these two prospects that the Rangers could be considering ahead of this upcoming draft. But before we do, make sure to leave a like if you do enjoy this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and comment your thoughts on the topic down below in the comment section. And if you haven't already, make sure to go follow us on Twitter at Fireside Rangers and on Instagram at Fireside Rangers for all of your daily New York Rangers content. Without further ado, Eric, how are you doing today, my friend? And what are your thoughts on the Rangers taking a center in the first round of the draft?
Overall, I'm doing good. Today, June 26th, the NHL awards are tonight. The only Ranger being represented right now is Adam Fox, going for his second Norris Trophy of his career at a very young age. So we all know that Adam Fox is one of the best defensemen in the NHL. I don't know if he'll win it tonight. We'll see what happens. I think, and Anthony will agree with me, he's very deserving of it. But whatever happens. It's just a trophy at the end of the day. We know how much he brings to the team. Really, though, for the betterment of the team outside of personal accolades, we want to talk about the draft, where currently the Rangers are at the point right now where we're in our cup window. The draft doesn't mean all that much in the world to us, where we're like, yeah, sure, we can draft someone, but they're not going to make an immediate impact. We have our team, we have our core, and we're going for the cup. But we're really focusing on is the future. And, we have our centers. We have Zibanejad, who's going to pretty much take that number one center for the rest of his career. And then we have Vincent Trocheck, who we signed for another 7 years, or I guess another 6 years at this point because the last season has ended. But outside of that, it's like they're getting old. Zibanejad is already 31. Trocheck is going to turn 30 very soon. So we got to start looking towards the future. And we have Philip Hedl. He's very young. He signed on like a 4-year deal. And then after that, so Barclay Goodrow is already a free agent. He might be on his way out from the Rangers right now. Who knows what's going to happen with him? So if there's one position who I think that the Rangers might need to just lock up and secure right away for the future, it might just be the center position.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you on that one. Let's go ahead and dive into the mock draft specifically and see what the writers had to say about the first prospect. This is Kimmelman of NHL.com. He says, pretty much agreeing with your points, adding young skill in the middle could be the best option for the Rangers at this point, with Mika Zibanejad at age 30 and Vincent Trocheck turning 30 before next season starts. So he's mocking David Edstrom, center, Frölunda Jr. He's 6'3", 185, and he describes him as a smart player with great size who averaged a point per game, 28 points in 28 games in Sweden's junior league. So Swedish player from the junior league, has a lot of size to him, could be an intriguing prospect here. Not as big as the other guy that we're going to get into. Edstrom, 6'3", 185. The other guy, 6'3", 222, so way more size there. But let's go ahead and discuss Edstrom and really just the prospect of taking the Swedish junior in the first round. Eric, what are your initial thoughts to that, if you have any strong opinions on David Edstrom?
I mean, this has always been like one of the main core points about me is when it comes to these guys in the European leagues, I don't know too much about them personally. But when you just read their basic description and their player profile and what they've accomplished, I honestly think that Edstrom he could be a solid addition here, where you look at our centers throughout recent years. You've had guys in the past like Derek Stepan, Derek Brassard, Mika Zibanejad as well. They're not like big guys, they're very good at playing in the middle. They know how to score goals and they know what they're doing. But when it comes to face-offs and really being basically the point guard comparison to the NBA, the Rangers have really, really lacked in that aspect. So to have someone who is decently sized, basically going to be the powerhouse of the team and carry that puck up the ice and then break it out to his forwards, it seems like a new, enticing idea. that the Rangers surprisingly haven't had in a very, very long time, So I like the idea of like having a center who will dominate on faceoffs, who will carry the puck up the ice, unlike the players that we've been watching recently who kind of just have it and then break it out to forwards like Artemi Panarin and Chris Kreider, who are very 50-50 on if they want to show up to games or not.
Yeah, and just to add a little bit more context to Edstrom particularly, he's lefty. This site has him listed at 187, and he is both Swedish and USA born. So, or not USA born, Swedish born, but I guess he grew up in the USA. So, just some fun facts about Edstrom right there. Let's talk about the second guy in the mock drafts. This is from Morial of NHL.com. He has Charlie Stramel, center out of Wisconsin, NCAA prospect. He's an impressive combination of size, skating, and skill. Again, 6'3", 222 pounds. And Morial describes him as being good in traffic, positions himself well to provide scoring opportunities for himself or teammates. He can finish checks and doesn't shy from contact. So one of your more physical and aggressive centers. Eric, I know that you like the aggression on the offensive end, and a lot of the times you really like players that can play both ways and have the size and physicality to play not just offense, but also get involved from a defensive standpoint. So what are your thoughts on Stramel? I think that if I had to pick between these two prospects, I would lean towards Wisconsin's Stramel.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like exactly what the Rangers are in need of. We're going into this year's playoffs, absolutely disappointing, devastating first round exit. And I think one of the biggest things was that we just did not uphold our physicality. I think out of the first round, the Rangers versus the Devils was the most physical playoff series that we witnessed, but still somehow our physicality just wasn't enough. We were thrown around. They outskated us. They outhit us. They outchecked us. And we fell short. So, and I think like really a lot of that physicality came from that defense. The offense was too pretty. We hyped up all of the offensive star power that came with Patrick Kane, Artemi Panarin, Vladimir Tarasenko. But in the end, they didn't contribute all that much besides like a couple of assists. So if you have a forward in your center core looking towards the future, at least, where not only is he going to put up points, but he's also going to be putting people down on the ice. He's going to be like navigating through traffic, rather than just passing it out to Artemi Panarin, who's just going to get checked on the boards. He's going to carry it through himself. It kind of seems like a plus right there. So I guess overall out of the two, like David Edstrom shows a lot of positive signs as well. But then again, Charlie Stramel, like he also brings that level of physicality that I really think the Rangers need. And I know, Tony, you're still like you're a few years into this whole like fan base and everything. But as someone who's been here for like 10 to 15 years, I've been saying this my entire tenure as a Rangers fan. We need more physicality. The Rangers are like really, really bad historically. And the biggest thing is just performance in the playoffs. And it just comes with physicality from the offense. So to see a guy who has that potential to bring that, I think that's what we really got to lean for.
I'm in the same boat as you. I think that Charlie Stramel, if he's on the board, would be my pick here of the players that I've looked at, just doing my little bits of reading of different articles and mock drafts for the Rangers at 23. I think that this physical 6'3", 220-pound center makes a lot of sense. He played in 33 games in the 2022-23 NCAA season, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 total points. So not necessarily putting points up on a game-by-game basis, but still, you love the developmental prospects of a guy like this. Just his traits that he has, you could totally develop him and watch him grow into a really capable player at the next level. So that's where I'm leaning. I really like the idea of Charlie Stramel out of Wisconsin. But, of course, there's so many different options for the New York Rangers on draft night. We're going to be covering draft night, of course, so make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this episode and subscribe to the channel if you are new and ring the bell so you don't miss an episode, and comment your thoughts on the topic down below in the comment section. Who do you want the Rangers to draft? A center or maybe a different position? I saw somebody on Twitter float out the idea of taking a goalkeeper, so maybe goalie is the move for the Rangers. Get someone young to develop behind Igor Shesterkin. That could be an option, and maybe we will discuss that in tomorrow's episode. But, of course, the draft is right around the corner. So we are going to be keeping a very close eye on everything that happens with the New York Rangers in the 2023 NHL draft. So again, leave a like, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and we will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Rangers.